What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and in this video, I want to talk to you about the Forbearance and what I think is the absolute god roll on this weapon. The RNG gods certainly blessed me today. I had about 400 Brave tokens saved up, so I attuned to the Forbearance and turned in some rolls, and as luck would have it, I got the god roll that I wanted, which is Demolitionist and Chain Reaction. And I will go into why this is the god roll in this video. But first, I want to talk about the base version you get from Shaxx when you complete the R-Site quest, and that is Stats for All and Chain Reaction. If this is the only roll that you get, then hang on to it because it's honestly really good. Stats for All gives 35 handling and reload speed and a 0.95 reload multiplier. So basically, this makes it able to reload extremely quickly. So if you're a player that never raided and you didn't get the Forbearance from Vow of the Disciple, at the bare minimum, go get this roll. I have the Ambitious Assassin Chain Reaction roll on the raid version, and as most people know, it's a monster. But this new version is honestly better for the simple fact of the origin trait. The one from the raid has Soul Drinker, and this gives you health based on the number of hits before reloading. And because this is a waveframe grenade launcher, you can tag many enemies for a good chunk of health back. And that Soul Drinker origin trait really wanted me to test this next perk, which is Unrelenting. See, Unrelenting is very similar to Soul Drinker. It gives 65 HP and triggers health regeneration. So basically, you're swapping a perk slot for an origin trait. But then I want to talk about the origin trait for the Brave version, which is Indomitability. And it reads, Final Blows when playing a light subclass grant grenade energy when on a light subclass and melee energy when on a darkness subclass. And the compendium says that this is a 5% grenade or melee return, which is honestly huge for an origin trait. It's like a watered down version of Demolitionist or Pugilist. On the base roll that you get from the R-Site quest, I throw my grenade and then I kill a bunch of enemies and then I get over half my grenade back, and this is just from the origin trait. In 2 shots, I get a full grenade back. It's honestly really good. So that shows you how strong this origin trait can be on certain weapons in ad-dense environments. But that brings me to what I think the god roll is, and that's Demolitionist and Chain Reaction. You see, I do the same thing with the Demolitionist roll, and in only 1 shot I get my entire grenade back. How crazy is that? And Demo also reloads your weapon. So you could just throw a grenade, shoot the Forbearance, get a bunch of kills, and then just throw your grenade again to reload it. The amount of ability spam you can have with this weapon is incredible, and it does roll with the classic Ambitious Assassin Chain Reaction roll if you want, but in my opinion, the roll to go for is Demolitionist. I tried Unrelenting and One for All, but the damage boost isn't needed on this weapon. First and foremost, it's an ad clear weapon. You don't really use it on high health targets. And speaking of damage, last week there was a lot of talk about the launch and grenade perks on Mountaintop, but I have really good news for you. On this weapon, it doesn't matter. It does adjust the impact damage as you can see in the background gameplay, but when it comes to the wave damage, it is the same no matter what launch perk and grenade perk that you have. This is really good news as it allows us to spec into handling and reload speed. So if you could craft this, I would say go with quick launch for more handling and velocity, but you could also go hard launch for even more velocity, and then I would go with high velocity rounds over implosion rounds, because they give you 10 more velocity and reload speed. Then Demolitionist and Chain Reaction and a reload speed masterwork. And luckily for me, that is pretty much what my roll has. I have hard launch, high velocity rounds, demo, and chain reaction with a reload masterwork. So I have 95 blast radius and 99 velocity as well as 91 reload speed. My raid Forbearance has Ambitious Assassin Chain Reaction, and it's the Adept version, and I usually just run Adept reload, so my stats are basically maxed on it, and trust me, if you get this combination of stats, it feels really good. It's pretty much the only legendary PvE weapon that I run that I don't use a spec mod like Minor Spec or Boss Spec. But like I said, even if you only get the base version with Stats for All and Chain Reaction, you're still laughing. For the rest of the perks, I do have one with Surplus, but this doesn't give the reload duration multiplier, so you're just simply better off with Stats for All because Surplus will max out the stats quickly and you can't go higher than 100 reload speed. My first roll back in the day when Vow of the Disciple launched had Steady Hands, and this makes it handle extremely quickly and it makes it feel really nice, but Ambitious Assassin or Demolitionist are just far better perks. Disruption Break is very niche, though it is a good perk for certain scenarios. In the right column, again, I do not see value in damage perks on waveframes, so Golden Tricorn, One for All, Bait and Switch, Rampage, and Desperate Measures are all kind of useless in my opinion. People have been rocking Chain Reaction in higher end content for ages, and there's a reason. You use it for ad clear, not damage. So that leaves you with Wellspring or Chain Reaction. Wellspring is a great perk, but with Indomitability, you really don't need it, unless you want melee and grenade energy back. But Chain Reaction will help you get more kills and much easier. A Bungie dev has confirmed on a podcast that Chain Reaction on Waveframes will be getting nerfed in Final Shape, and some speculate that it has already happened on Tusk of the Boar, but even still, I think Chain Reaction is the play here, as is Demolitionist. The grenade energy return is just too good to pass up, especially when you combine the origin trait on a light subclass. It's huge returns. You can see how fast I'm getting my grenade back in this Legend Lost sector, and these enemies aren't even stacked up very well at all. In higher ad density content, this roll is going to go super hard. So that's it for my god roll guide for the new Brave Forbearance. I'm very happy I got my god roll, and I can probably delete my undercurrent with demo because the only reason I really kept it was for that perk. And Forbearance just straight up does better ad clear thanks to Chain Reaction. Anyways, thanks for watching and take care.